Hey, what's up, YouTube? This video is titled I'm obsessed with Y2K vintage, which is my favorite, and we're going to talk about all that. First, I want to use this video. I'm going to take my time. It's going to be a nice long one. I'm guessing about 30 minutes. But I want to talk to you about all of the updates with the reselling, and we did some upgrades. I say we, it's just me, but I do like to include my wife because, I mean, even if she doesn't help that much, just her being understanding and letting me do all this crazy shit and store all this stuff in the apartment, I feel like she's part of the team, right? So anyways, let's start out with talking about the updates. Now, I am kind of I almost did like a restart or like a reboot, especially with the eBay. Back in the early winter, I want to say like November, there was all that craziness and all that chatter on YouTube about the promoted listings, how they changed like in January or whatever. And I already didn't like all the fees with eBay. Granted, I did sell on there and I'm still going to, but I just basically got to the point where I'm like, I am not doing the promoted listings. I mean, you're already paying almost like 15% of what you sell to eBay. And then for a while there, I was adding like another 5 or 6 or whatever. And, you know, paying over 20% is a lot. And I know there's other platforms that make you pay 20%, but for what I was selling, what I was finding and what I was selling, like it just, you know, it was eating too much into my profits. Now, I only do this part-time. I do have a full-time job. I have some notes right here too, so if you see me looking down, it's because I'm cheating. I'm old, man. I gotta write shit down or I'll forget. I'm gonna be 46 in May. All right, so let's talk about eBay. We did a restart. I took down all my listings, which I didn't have a ton. I had 100 something, but I'm gonna keep it kind of like that on purpose. I get to 250 free listings every month, and I think that's what I'm going to try to keep my store at eventually. I'm going to try to build it up to 250, and then if there's any overflow, then I can list some things on Depop. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, but did you know Vinted is in the USA now? Like, Vinted is big over in Europe and the UK, and now it's here. Like, there's ads for it on YouTube. I actually already signed up and put the app on my phone, but I have not listed anything. So I think I'm gonna try it just to see what happens. I mean, how much worse can it be than Depop? But yeah, well, I'm gonna be all over the place this video. We're gonna talk about everything. I got some notes right here so I don't forget anything. But so yeah, I took down all my listings from eBay. And then in December and the first half of January, I listed about 170 things on Depop. And I was just trying Depop because of the promoted listing stuff. I was just like, well, let's just see if Depop is similar to eBay. And I did sell some stuff, but one of the issues that I was running into with Depop, and I think I've heard a lot of other people talk about it on their YouTube videos, is, you know, it's winter, or I'm sorry, it was winter in December and January when I was listing on Depop. So I was listing all of my hoodies, you know, all my sweatshirts, sweaters, basically like the heavier, bulkier items. I didn't do like jackets really, but you know, a men's XL hoodie or 2X hoodie, it's gonna weigh over a pound every time, unless it's one of the t-shirt type hoodies, which I had some of those on there too. But anyways, the problem I was running into was, it's not that my items sucked, it's the shipping on Depop, the built-in shipping they have. I don't use Pirate Ship. I don't even know if it's an option for me as a seller on there yet, to be honest with you. But I just use whatever shipping's on the platforms. I keep it simple. I don't use any cross listing. I, me being part time, I don't want any overhead. So I'm not going to be one of those channels and resellers that's scaling, and getting storage units and buying, renting offices and warehouses and all the craziness. Like, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just doing part time. It's kind of a hobby and a side hustle where I do want to make a little extra money, but I'm also a collector. And I think a lot of us are. Like, I've collected all different types of things in my lifetime. Probably started with baseball cards when I was in my, back in the late '80s. When I was in elementary school, I started with baseball cards and have collected all kind of things since. I collected concert T-shirts for a while, but it was only the ones that I went to, which I used to go to a ton when I was in my like early 20s. But yeah, I'm a collector, so I have a personal collection, and I'm gonna show you a few things. This is a pile right here of a few things. I'm gonna show you some stuff that's in my collection, and I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make some videos where I'm just showing you guys stuff that I'm keeping for myself. Some things are just really cool Y2K stuff that, is nostalgia for me, that reminds me of when I was in high school, which we're gonna get to all that. Um, but yeah, so with eBay, oh sorry, with Depop, let me tell you what the issue was. The issue was their shipping category of 1 pound to 2 pounds, which would be a hoodie. It was like $11.99 to ship something over a pound. So I actually got some messages from buyers like, "Hey, I want to buy this shirt, but it's almost as much as the shirt." And I'll give you a perfect example. I put a North Face hoodie on there, which I probably could charge $20 for on eBay. It was brand new. It had a really, really cool bear graphic on it. Like, it wasn't just like a plain ass normal North Face hoodie. And I pay up for those now, which is ridiculous. And we're going to talk about that a little later too, because I'm going to talk about sourcing coming up later in the video. But so this particular hoodie was marked up to $9.99 at the Goodwill, one of the Goodwills near my house. They put their own little tag on it, their own little price tag on it that says $9.99. And I bought it because it was almost brand new. I really liked the graphic. I think it was a large, so it was a decent size. And in my mind, I'm like, it's a good brand. Worst case scenario, it'll be kind of like a double up. Well, with Depop, no one wants to pay eBay prices. So my $20 price got put on Depop. I think what happened was I was constantly always running a sale on Depop because you can do that. On eBay, again, I want to keep my overhead as low as possible. So on eBay, I do not have a store. I don't want any subscriptions. I just want to make money. I don't want to spend money to make money. You're already sourcing, you're already buying supplies. That's enough. So anyways, so on, what was I saying? Oh, so with Depop, the shipping, that North Face, I had to discount. I was running a sale for, I believe, 10 or 15% off. And the reason why you do that on Depop is if someone is watching your item, is when you discount it 10% or more, it shoots out a thing to them saying, "Hey, this is on sale now. You should buy it, blah, blah, blah." So that's why you do that on Depop. And I got that from Jack Thrifts on YouTube. Check him out. I think he's posting again. He took like a year off because he had a baby and some stuff. But yeah, Jack Thrifts is in Indiana, which is really close to me, and I like his content because he really likes the Y2K stuff also. But yeah, so this shirt on discount, and then someone sent me an offer. Things weren't moving really fast on Depop, so I went ahead and accepted it. I ended up selling the freaking shirt for $12, which sucks, but I did get rid of it, which I needed to make room. We're going to talk more about that too. But I ended up selling a North Face shirt that I paid 10 for. I sold it for 12 just to get rid of it. Some guy got a really good deal, but did he get a really good deal? Because, okay, think about this. And I think a lot of people think like this, especially buyers. You guys buy off eBay and Depop also. I know I've bought off eBay in the past. I don't know if I've ever bought anything off Depop. But anyways, so I think a lot of people just get a number in their head and like that's what they want to pay for something. So if someone's looking for, let's just be super specific. Let's say someone's looking for a North Face hoodie in their size to wear. They're just going to say, I want to spend $20 on it. I'm going to find the best one I can, and 20 all in is all I want to spend on this shirt. But with Depop, that screws you, because if they're charging the customer $11 or $12 to ship, plus whatever other buyer protection fees or whatever the hell they have locked in there, another 5%, I think, or it's something crazy, because there's no seller fees unless you boost, which is going up to 12%. Their boosting is going from 8 to 12%. That makes me not want to use that ever either. And I have used it some in the past. But anyways, that's because eBay bought Depop. They're already raising the shit. That's what happens. I'm telling you, Depop might be fucked. I don't think I'm going to use Depop unless it's like an overflow. And if I do put stuff on Depop, I'm only going to put t-shirts and maybe shorts. That's probably it. Because the heavy stuff, it'll sell better on eBay. On eBay, I use calculated shipping, and I share my discount with the buyers. So they are getting a little bit of a break. I'm not making any money on shipping. I think it's weird when it's almost like some of the YouTubers brag about making money on the shipping. Like, I don't want the customer to even know that I would be making money on the shipping. Like, to me, that's going to maybe make a customer go somewhere else where there's cheaper shipping. So I want to have the cheapest shipping. That's one of the ploys. Now, and I'll tell you why I do that. There's another reason why I do that. We're going to talk that in a second. But anyways, with Depop, I'm selling a shirt for $12. You know, it's probably a $20 hoodie on eBay all day long. But yeah, on Depop it's 12, because they're also charging $12 for the fucking shipping. So this kid had to pay almost $25 for this hoodie, but you're only getting $12 of it minus fees, which was probably 10. So I broke even. But so yeah, I think a lot of customers are like that, where they have like that all-in price where they're like, okay, I'm only spending $25 on this golf polo. So if you have it listed for 20 and shipping's more than 5, you're gonna have to give them a discount, or they're gonna just go to the next person. That's just how it is. All right, so let's finish up about eBay. We are doing a full reboot, a full restart, whatever you want to call it. I've listed about 10 items on there right now. I have my women's Harley haul that I got from a garage sale. The lady that worked at Buckman's D&D Harley Davidson in Xenia, Ohio. She was the service writer in the service department. And I got her dealer jacket, her work jacket. I've got 9 other long sleeve shirts. I got those all listed right now. So another update I want to talk about is an upgrade to eBay and wherever other platforms I use this year in 2026. We did a lighting upgrade. One thing I have learned through my own stubbornness. You know, the YouTubers, they're always right when they talk about the things to not do or the things to avoid in the beginning so you don't like screw up. And a lot of they, you know, they always say, you gotta have good pictures, gotta have good pictures. Well, in the summer and fall, my pictures were okay. They're not great, they're not perfect, but they were okay because I was using my regular apartment lights, which are not great. They're like yellowy tint because of the fixtures. But I was also using the natural light coming from the windows. So I would open all the blinds and everything, and it was okay. But as soon as like winter hit, it's like the sunlight just like, you don't realize this because I wasn't reselling the year before. Excuse me. You don't think about this kind of stuff unless you resell and list every day like I should be. But the light is terrible in the winter. Like every day seemed cloudy. There was just no sun hardly. And, you know, living back in Ohio, we did get a lot of snow and we just had a lot of shitty days. And yeah, it's depressing and also not good for pictures. And I figured that out really, you know, the hard way. And all of my pictures, let me take a drink real quick. All of my pictures just looked kind of dingy and kind of shadowy, and the colors didn't like pop. And yeah, I just, even though I'm using like a semi newer iPhone, you know, the pictures were like clear, but just the lighting was just bad, and my colors weren't like really matching really well. So I went ahead and took down all my listings on eBay, which was, I would say, somewhere between 150 and 200, just like with Depop. And I bought some new lights. My wife actually bought them for me for Valentine's Day, which is kind of funny. But I do things like that because I don't need anything, and I never know what for her to get me. So a lot of times when I know it's near like a holiday or birthday or my birthday, something that I just want for myself, if I, instead of me buying it, I'll just be like, ooh, can you get this for me? And then that's kind of how we do it. So I knew I needed this lighting. I knew it was going to be probably, you know, my budget was around $100, and you know, something cheap off Amazon. And I found something for, I think it was 80 or 89. Don't quote me on the price, but it was 80 or 89. So it was either $79 or $89. But I found this set. Look, it comes in this cool big zipper bag. Look at that, it's huge. But it's really nice that you can keep it all together. It's got two nice AC plugins, and it's got two big tower tripods that are, I think they go up to 7 or 8 feet. I know they go up taller than me. And then here's the lights. So I got two of these. See that this attaches to the top of the tripod, but they're like LED, and you can adjust. This is really cool. So there's where you plug it in at, and then you can adjust the level of lighting. I believe these go up to 45K, 45, yeah. No, not 45K, sorry. 4,500K. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it goes up to. But anyways, you can adjust the level of light and then the tone, which it does add. If you have it all the way, it's almost like a bluish light, like you would get off like a fluorescent. And then if you don't tone it down some, it adds some yellow lighting to it actually. I don't know if you can see that, but like the lights are almost like different. Yeah, you can. The lights are like different colors. So when you tone it down, these like almost like orangish yellow, those show up, and it's more like natural light, like sunlight. But they're really cool. There's a model. So I got two of those and then two towers. I'm not gonna get them all out because I want to be able to shut this bag. So yeah, this was like 80 or 90 bucks. We'll just call it 90 with shipping. So that just shows you guys under $100, and like these are like, it actually is listed as like photography lighting. Like they show like some dude taking pictures of a model. So they're nice lights. They get the job done for a part-time reseller, living in an apartment, and I use my kitchen table as my backdrop. My kitchen table is my photo studio. I have to break it down and set it up every single time I use it because Julie has her little girly things on it. So I have to like take her table runner off, and she has a giant Yankee candle on there. Of course, they're all over the damn apartment. I don't know why I'm messing with this. And then what else does she have? Oh, and then she has like a centerpiece, which is like a vase with flower, like fake flowers. So I have to take that all off the table. Then I bought another upgrade I did. 2 little small upgrades you can do. I was using the wooden background. Our table is just wood grain. I was using that as my backdrop for Depop, which is fine on Depop, but on eBay you want to stick to the whites, grays backgrounds. So I bought just a white plain tablecloth from Walmart. I think it was $11.99. And it fits the table good, nice overhang, and it's just white and it's crisp and it's cloth. It's not plasticky, cheap. It was 12 bucks, but yeah, it kind of just looks like you're laying things down almost like on, it almost looks like you're whiting out the background. It's really nice. But so I bought the tablecloth to make my background. We got the new lights for eBay. And then also, I went ahead and bought a yardstick. I got mine from Home Depot. So it says Home Depot on it. And I'm including the measurements in the photos now. When I first started reselling, I did no measurements, regretted it. Then I started putting all the measurements in the description, and that worked fine for a while. I would still get some comments though, not comments, messages saying what are the measurements, and then eBay will actually auto reply because you do have them in the listing. So that was nice that it did that. But still, people don't, that just shows you that people do not read the descriptions all the time. So now we have the new lighting, and then now we're using the yardstick in the photos. We're doing pit to pit and length in all the tops. And when I start listing jeans, I'm gonna do waist, rise, inseam, and then on certain jeans, not every jean, but certain jeans, I will do the leg opening, like things that are like more Y2K and they're wide, so people can see that. Let me take another drink. Oh, okay. All right, so that covers all of the upgrades that we are doing. Our pictures are looking better. Still not the best, but they're looking better. Any improvement will help. We talked about Depop, and we are going to use Depop as an overflow. If we fill our store up to 250 on eBay, we get the 250 free listings. We'll just put a little bit of a overflow onto Depop because it's free to list on there, and the fees are not bad. So I want to talk a second about my goals for 2026. I know it's already halfway through March, but I do want to talk about my goals. So my short-term goals would be to become more consistent on here. So that's great news. If you're watching this and you don't know who I am and you're kind of new, the good news is I'm gonna keep showing up and be more consistent. And if you have already watched a video or two of mine and you've like, dude, why haven't you been posting for months or whatever? Which I know there's not many of you, but yeah, I'm gonna start showing up more, and it's all gonna help. It all ties into everything. We're gonna talk more about that a little bit later, but basically I'm gonna be more consistent with YouTube. I want to post. I would love to post a couple times a week. And the types of videos that I'm going to be posting are going to be. I'm not going to source much until I sell some stuff. I live in an apartment and I'm at capacity. The thing with thrifting is I have an addictive personality, and when you first start, thrifting's the best part. It's fun, it's treasure hunting. I went crazy with it, and now I have an apartment full of shit that I need to sell. And some things I'm keeping, some things are mid, and yeah, some things are really cool that I've just been sitting on for months. So the collector in me is gonna start selling shit. But yeah, I'm gonna be more consistent. And what I want that to do is I hope it translates. I would love to be able to start doing whatnot shows, like, and people actually show up. So I'm thinking if I can build the YouTube some, maybe that will also transfer over to people maybe coming to whatnot and hanging out. Even if I'm not selling, like, even if some of those people aren't buyers, if they just want to just hang out, like, I would even still be okay with that. But right now, it's like torture on there. I did a day show on a Friday at like 2 o'clock, and I was on for like an hour and 20 minutes. I didn't sell anything. And the most people I had at one time, I think, was 2 or 3. That's it. I was just kind of chilling. I was listening to music. I was showing items. The people that, there was one person that was like hanging around, like he probably just thought it was entertaining. And I was being nice the whole time. I wasn't being, grumpy or whatever. I mean, I know it's going to be like that. I've done that before in the past too. So, I mean, I was just chilling, but I was showing things, but I didn't really even run anything because there was no one to run to, really. Like, I wasn't auctioning shit, but I was showing stuff, and I was like, hey, let me know. I was like, let me know if you see anything you like. We can run it for $5. I was doing $5 starts, by the way, and it was a lot of like hoodies. I mean, $5 for a hoodie, and I was doing the 921 priority. So in my mind, I thought I had a good idea going. I was like, okay, so let's say someone buys a hoodie for $5, and no one, like, tries to outbid them. So then they have to pay 921 shipping for that hoodie, but it's priority mail, so they'll get it faster, and you can ship up to 5 pounds in the large priority mail box. So I thought I was doing, like, I was like, oh my God, people are going to be able to buy like 3 or 4 hoodies, like 3 hoodies, and ship it for 921, and no one bought any. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to try that again for a while. So yeah, we're going to make some videos. Maybe some people will start showing up and whatnot in the future sometime. I don't know how long that will take. Maybe by the end of this year, maybe years from now. Who knows? It could take a long time. But so yeah, I mentioned earlier, Vinted is in the US. I may put a few things on there just to try it. There is no fees at all. They charge the buyer. So, okay, let's actually talk about this for a second. I'm gonna try not to go too long on this because we're already pushing 29 minutes. But I do want to talk a little bit about why I like Y2K vintage so much. I like true vintage too. Don't get me wrong. Like, if I find something old in a thrift store, I'm gonna buy it. But the reason why I like Y2K is it's nostalgia, and I'm gonna go deeper into that and explain. So this year I'm gonna be 46. So let's just think about this, okay? I'm looking at my notes a little bit. Let's call, for this video's sake, let's call Y2K 1996 to 2004. So that's the later half of the 90s and the first half of the 2000s, right? Okay. Sorry guys, it's Fuck, it's 5 in the morning. Holy shit. Okay. I'm trying to be a little quiet too because Julie's sleeping. All right, so anyways, 96 to 04. Let's think about this for a second. I was born in 1980. So in 96, I was 16 years old. That's like the age, like 16 to 2004, I was 24. 16 to 24, that is like your prime. That, especially a man, like that's the prime ages to just have fun and be single and be crazy and do all the crazy shit, get it out the way. Guys, you know what's up. But yeah, man, so I was wearing it. I was living it. I did live it. Like, it's funny to see. And no offense to any of these young dudes because I watch all their shit. But these young guys on YouTube that are crazy into the Y2K vintage, it's funny because they weren't even alive. And like, I was actually wearing the real shit. Like my junior and senior year, which would have been 97 and 98, my uniform every day was a pair of Airwalks. Shout out, they don't even make that shit anymore. They're nothing now. A pair of Airwalks, baggy ass pants, and a chain wallet. Not some days, not every day. It depended on the pants I wore. And then a band shirt from Hot Topic. That was it. And then I remember I had these one pair of corduroy pants. They were like a cream color, and they had like the big whale, like the big corduroy, not the thin. And the opening was so big you couldn't even see my shoes. It was insane. They were Union Bay too. They weren't even, I couldn't afford the Jinkos. They were Union Bay and they were so massive you couldn't even see my Airwalks. It was hilarious. I was like bringing back bell bottoms in the fucking 90s. Holy shit. But anyways, we're gonna wind this down. Shout out Zach, out in New Mexico. But yeah, it's nostalgia. It's the stuff I wore. It's the stuff that I still like. I still have. I still wear. And I like finding it. I like finding some of the stuff that I saw back then, people were wearing. It's really cool. And my parents didn't buy me any of that cool stuff. When I turned 16, I got a part-time job and I started going to the mall and buying my own stuff. Like I basically bought everything from either PacSun or Hot Topic, basically. I mean, there was other stores too, but that's mainly the stuff I wore. And PacSun was a lot different back then. It was actually called Pacific Sunwear. It didn't change to PacSun until 1999, I think. But, or no, 2001. It's either 99 or 2001. I read that. But they were called Pacific Somewhere, and they sold all of the good skater and surfer brands. Now you go into PacSun, a lot of their stuff is just their label. Like you look at the shirt and it says PacSun on it, on the tag. But back when I was shopping there, you could get Billabong, Volcom, Ruka. I don't know if they had Stussy, which that's funny that the youngins call it Stussy. I've heard people say that. It's Stussy. Ask Google AI. So trust me, I'm the old dude, I know. So yeah, I was like the last, us in our mid 40s right now, guys and girls. We were the last of the mall rats. That's what I should have fucking titled the video. The last of the mall rats. All right, we got lots of videos to come. 35 minutes, dear Lord. Oh, dear Lord, help me sell all this stuff so I can buy more. All right, lots of vids coming. If you're gonna get on and ride with me right now, this is the perfect time. I'm gonna start going hard on YouTube. I'm gonna be on a listing spree, like a fucking listing frenzy. And I'm gonna be listing all my what am I gonna be listing? All my t-shirts, my polo. I have a lot of really good golf stuff. I'm gonna be listing all my polo shirts, lots of shorts. Yeah, I got some nice button ups too, some good jeans. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna make some money and we'll make some more videos. And I'm gonna do, my videos are gonna be, they're not gonna be haul videos. They're gonna be more like um, what I'm getting ready to list videos. So we're gonna call them like preview, like a preview video. Like, hey, look at all this stuff I'm about to list. That way you get an idea of what things I'm buying, things are listing right now, this month, this season. And then also if you ever want to cop any of it, you'll get like a preview before it even goes on. As soon as it goes on, boom, you can be the first to get it. I'll see you in the next one, guys.